Minister Grange, Minister Camila Johnson-Smith, Mr. Terry Long, and of course opposition's person on sport, Mrs. Natalie Nita Hedley. Thank you. All right, I must also recognize Mr. Christopher Samuda, President of the GOA, my fellow directors. I see Vice Presidents, Messrs. Reed, Anderson, General Secretary. Must recognize Mr. Adman Nab, Mr. Dennis Grant, Orbs from FIFA. I'd like also to acknowledge Malika Church. She's based in Barbados, but she worked closely with the JFF, of course, representing FIFA. Today, the media, all the media houses that are represented here this morning, let me, of course, recognize you all. I'm just absolutely excited to be part of this morning's exercise. When you think that Jamaica, small country, having qualified consecutively for 2 women's global competition, this is no ordinary feat. We seem to take it lightly, but the world doesn't. And I tell you, we were in Rwanda some weeks ago, and everybody, they were just simply excited about Jamaica. And how on earth could Jamaica, with its little resources, little infrastructure, get to a global tournament 2 times consecutively? But I've always said Jamaica is a brand, and we must do everything to protect the brand. I said to Minister Camila Smith that while we were in Rwanda, this lady just walked up to me and said, "Where's Minister?" I mean, this is all the way in Rwanda. And I said, "What minister?" She was in fact permanent secretary for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Rwanda. Obviously, she had a relationship with Minister Johnson, and she was so excited. I want to congratulate Coach Lord Donaldson, and may I have you stand, you can be all the sponsors who have helped us on this journey. It would be extremely remiss of me not to mention Minister Grange, of course, the Marley Foundation, the Reggae Girlz Foundation, all our sponsors, the Cinco, Grace back on board, and a number of entities would have been part of the process of getting us to where we are. We have just brought on Mr. Dennis Grant, who's been absolutely awesome. And we really want to express our gratitude to you, sir. We do have a very, very long day. We're going to get back here probably midnight tonight. So I don't want to take up too much time, but I want to say to you all, let's bask in the glory of the achievements of our girls. There are 211 countries that make up FIFA. 132 have never qualified for a global tournament. Jamaica has done so at least 6 times. So, thank you for your support. The World Cup starts on July 20, I think, in Australia, in Melbourne, Australia. As many of you, I would want to ask that you prepare yourselves. Let's go to Australia. Let's give the girls all the support we can. Thank you.
For being here with us, the representative of the host country. And obviously I would like to acknowledge the representative of Jamaica's national women's team, right? Your efforts in qualifying are the main reason why we are here today. It's really wonderful for us to be in Jamaica with what is the most coveted prize in women's sport, the FIFA Women's World Cup original trophy. I insist on original because this is the very own trophy that usually is shown at the FIFA Museum in Zurich. It's the same trophy since 1999. It's the trophy that we hand over to the winning team that gets to lift it and then celebrate. And before the celebration goes too crazy, we take it back and we give them the winner's trophy so that that's the one they get to keep and take home. So this beautiful trophy will visit all 32 countries that will participate in the tournament, and the trophy tour long journey is going beyond anything that has been done before. Going beyond is really the campaign that we are running through the World Trophy Tour. And if someone understands what going beyond means, it's really the Jamaican national women's team. 4 years ago, you were the first Caribbean country to qualify for the FIFA Women's World Cup, and this year you're making history again by becoming the first Caribbean team of women or men to qualify for back-to-back World Cup. So such an achievement, really. Very, very positive development of women's football in Jamaica, so congratulations for that. And we hope that the presence of the trophy today is going to provide even more inspiration to go beyond, to go further, and to get, why 7? We can go more.
All right.
So again, congratulations, because the reason we're here today is because of the efforts to take women's football to the next country here in Jamaica. So looking forward, we know it's going to be a very tough group, right? France and Brazil are both ranked in the top 10 in the world. Panama will for sure want to make a good impression in their first appearance in the tournament. But you know what, it's a great opportunity for you to build on all the positive momentum that women's football is going through right now and in the recent years in Jamaica. So I would like to wish the team all the best at the FIFA Women's World Cup. We know that fans in Australia and New Zealand can't wait to see the best women's footballers come from across the globe come to their doorstep, and it will for sure be a pleasure for them and for us to welcome Jamaica as one of the 32 participating nations. So thanks again for everyone, thanks for the energy. Since we've been here, it's been amazing. The level of energy, excitement is so nourishing for us, so thank you for that. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I know we're a little bit short of time, so I won't go into too much detail in my acknowledgements, but I do want to acknowledge everyone here today, Ministers, Minister Grange, Minister Johnson-Smith, Minister Alando Tolong, and Mrs. Natalie Nitibale, Shadow Minister as well. Acknowledge representatives of the Jamaica Football Federation and of FIFA. So, I'm really happy to be here this morning. I came across from Trinidad and Tobago yesterday, which is where the Australian Commission is based, specifically for this event. Before I kick off, I would just like to thank FIFA and the Jamaica Football Federation for allowing me time to speak this morning as one of the host nations. The other, of course, being Australia's close neighbour and great sporting rival, New Zealand. Sport brings people together. It has the power to change lives. And we know that women and girls experience improved self-esteem, self-worth, confidence, and improved mental health from sport and physical activity. Australia is committed to harnessing the power of sport to promote gender equality. And one of the ways we're doing this is by hosting major women's sporting events like the Women's World Cup. It's now only just 93 days until the kick-off in Auckland, with New Zealand versus Norway closely followed by the Matildas, Australia's team, taking on Ireland at Stadium Australia in Sydney. There was actually so much interest in this first match in Australia that they almost immediately had to move it to a bigger stadium because tickets were selling out that quickly. So from a stadium of 42,000 to one of 82,000. So I think that's a real sign that there has been progress and there should continue to be progress to make sure that our female sports stars get the same recognition and attention as the men, and the recognition and attention that they deserve. It's of course no secret Australians love sport. Sporting success unites Australians, as I'm sure it does Jamaicans. It is a powerful force in creating social harmony. We love sport so much that we are at the beginning of what we're calling the Green and Gold Decade, where we're hosting a whole range of major sporting events in the lead up to the 35th Olympic and Paralympic Games, which will be in Brisbane in 2032. There's a whole lot of sporting events, but I'd like to mention the 2026 Commonwealth Games, the 2027 Netball World Cup, and the 2029 Women's Rugby World Cup, and of course the FIFA Women's World Cup. As one of the speakers mentioned earlier, it's a World Cup of firsts. It's the first to be co-hosted, the first in the Southern Hemisphere, and the first with 32 teams, another sign of that progress to include more women and to celebrate women's sport. Although there's lots of sports played in Australia, and we actually have 4 popular codes of football. We have what we call soccer, rugby union, rugby league, and our own Australian rules football. And despite of that, despite all those sports, after swimming, soccer is the most played sport by children in Australia. And I think this is linked to the popularity of football around the world. We know it's the game that's played in more countries around the world than any other. And Australia is a melting pot of different ancestries and cultures from all around the world, and we share common ground with so many of the world's peoples. Our women's soccer team, the Matildas, are a clear example of this, with players of Aboriginal Australian, Indian, Norwegian, Estonian, Swedish, Nigerian, Irish, and Papua New Guinean heritage, just to name a few. And I think there's absolutely no doubt that every team playing in Australia, including Jamaica, will have their compatriots and their diaspora cheering them on in the stadiums. It's one of the reasons we're so excited to have Jamaica and the other 30 countries coming to Australia from every corner of the globe to compete in the beautiful game. In closing, I just wanted to say I was lucky enough to be in Paris during the last Women's World Cup, and it was an amazing experience. I drove halfway across the country to see the Matildas play. I didn't get to see Jamaica play, unfortunately. And I went to the semi-final. It was incredible. I am so sad that I am not going to be in Australia or New Zealand for this, but I do encourage anybody who can make it over to attend, and I assure you I'll be watching as many matches as I can on TV, and Jamaica will be a priority. I'd like to wish the Reggae Girls all the best in the tournament, and I particularly hope that the Matildas and the Reggae Girls get to meet on the field. Thank you.
I don't mind being the goalkeeper. So coach, we talk, right? So, I want you to give a big round of applause to the Vibes MC. Call her the Vibes Master. My colleague Minister, Minister Johnson, I must tell you, I am the minister in cabinet who fine ministers when they get to cabinet late. Cabinet begins at 10 in the morning, and we have cabinet this morning. So, but I made sure I told the cabinet secretary I'd be late, and that Minister Johnson Smith would be late. So we're covered, right? So I just want to quickly acknowledge the presence of my colleague minister is going to support me when I go to cabinet and ask for the holiday. And to acknowledge Landa Terrelon, the Minister of State in my ministry, who will handle the ball for me. You'll hand me the ball, right? President Ricketts, and of course, my colleague Member of Parliament, Natalie Nita. And we always pause when we get to the Nita, because she now has a new name, Garvey. And everybody seemed to be so accustomed to the old name.
That's not her original.
Right, so we probably should call you Natalie Garvey, and it will be easier, right? Yes. And I wish to acknowledge the JOA president. I will not say he's the most handsome man in the world, but he certainly is poetry in motion. Of course, my coach, Lauren Donaldson, who is just very, very passionate, and you know, he'll stand on his head just to make sure the girls are doing well. And we really appreciate that. Please give us a round of applause. And JOA, JFF officials, you all know who you are. I don't have to go through all the names, right? In the interest of time. Of course, Deputy High Commissioner of Australia, Melissa Mitchell, and our, the head of the FIFA touring party, Sarah. I tried yesterday very hard to determine which bag had the trophy in it, and I could not figure it out. They do an excellent job in ensuring you don't know what is going on until we have the function. But just to say that everyone who is here this morning, that because of your interest in the Reggae Girls and in football, I just want to thank you for coming and to really express my appreciation. So I was pleased to be a part of the welcoming team at the airport yesterday morning when the trophy arrived in the island for the Jamaica leg of its tour. And I found out it's an original trophy. So it's important for you to understand that Jamaica, right now in Jamaica, we have the original trophy. And I'm really happy to be here this morning at the lounge. All of us as Jamaicans are ecstatic and beyond proud of our Reggae Girls on this their historic back-to-back qualification for this prestigious tournament. I'm going to ask you all to just put your hands together and really, really give them a big round of applause. One thing we know we can rely on the Reggae Girls for sure is that they will do their best. They will leave their best performance on the field, no matter the reputation of the opponents they face. Our women are fierce. In fact, we know that the Reggae Girls are not daunted by the teams drawn in our Group F. We know that the Reggae Girls, by their performance, will continue to inspire the next generation of great female footballers. I just want to use the opportunity at this point to mention the fact that Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Chen Guangjing, called on me a few days ago. And among the things we agreed on was that the Jamaica-China Technical Cooperation Program, which was suspended because of COVID, that we will resume that program shortly. The specialized training in China included 130 Jamaican athletes, managers and coaches in 7 sporting disciplines. And the women's football training program in particular benefited from this program, which can be credited for advancing the skills of some of our current players at the national level. And I just could not miss the opportunity to mention that. So we are resuming the Jamaica-China Technical Cooperation Program shortly. As we speak, a proposal is being prepared for submission to the embassy. And we're hoping that instead of taking the teams to China for 3 months, we can split it between Jamaica and China, and the Chinese folks will come to Jamaica to do the training as well. Now, in regard to the support of the government of Jamaica to the Reggae Girls, we will be providing a monthly stipend for each member of the squad for their nutrition and other training needs beginning the end of this month. And this will continue until the World Cup. And this support is valued at $20 million. And of course, I'm looking forward to meeting with the JFF so we can discuss other matters to see what else we can do. Not making any commitment here, but we'll talk about it because we certainly want to make sure that the Reggae Girls have the best chance ever to come home with the trophy. Then we'll have the holiday.
2 questions for you. Oh, sorry. There we go. Okay, wonderful. So first of all, thank you very much for being here. The first question we'd love to ask you is, who do you think is going to win the World Cup this year?
Hello.
It's a silly question, isn't it?
I'm speaking the Reggae Girls.
The Reggae Girls, perfect. Just double checking. And what's it like to be in the presence of the trophy today?
Amazing. It's exciting, but yeah.
And being part of the football team, what would you say is, the best part, and 2, the biggest quality that you guys bring to the table as a team?
So, as a team, what's like your biggest quality? Like, what do you bring to the table as a team? Is it, you know, we were talking earlier on about commitment, confidence. Is it all the 5 C's, or is there anything else in particular as a team that you know, love?
Honestly, we always try to understand each other, so it's more particularly good trying to understand the difficulties between each other. Like if one is off the game, we try to help them to bring them back on the game, so the team is actually on the same level.
Amazing, great to hear. Thank you so much.
Unveiling of the truth. Mr. Anderson, sorry. Yes. So, when I say 1, 2, you say Reggae Girls. 1, 2. Reggae Girls. Ooh. Oh my, beautiful. Come on, now put your hands together for the trophy. This is the original trophy. Wonderful. I wish I could touch it. Point to it. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, it was my pleasure being your master of ceremonies. God bless you all, and the trophy is there for